Atop the Crystal Moon, to George Sterling and Clark Ashton Smith, by Ashley Dioses. I long to be atop the crystal moon, where dreams of marble wharves and silver dunes entice my way to magical black mountains, of onyx spires and runes obsidian. I drink rubescent wines from jeweled fountains, listening to the pomegranate lips that whisper wicked things between deep sips. Pale amethyst-eyed nymphs all spin and dance beneath rich crimson waters of rose hips and grapes as satyrs play gold flutes the trance, the wary constellations to come down from haunted shores Plutonian to drown, and aphrodisiacs they so adore. Sweet poisons scent the blooms atop the crowns of fairies from the cosmic courts of lore. Auroral skies light up the iris pearls beneath the crystal water's dainty swirls. The sirens lurk beneath with tempting forms, and beck with amber eyes and golden curls, while their enticing songs call distant storms. Sleek undersides of Peridot just show above the sparkling sea as serpents flow throughout the opal foam of turquoise waves. Dragons unfurl their wings to soar and blow the fire into the very stars to save the cosmos from the ever-lurking dark. Their emerald eyes at night shine with the spark of wisdom. They return to jeweled troves and curl on golden coins beneath their arcs of copper-colored scales in secret coves. Bedecked with dust from all the shining stars, the unicorns and Pegasus all spar and dance and play on Saturn's spectral rings, then leave for constellations near and far on golden rose-hued hooves and moonstone wings. I dream a dreamer's dream of longing for entrance into the palace's closed doors. The gem, the empress of the crystal moon, hides from my dreams, for her my heart outpours. Why must she lie ensconced behind cursed rune? The goblins murmur of old myths from times far gone, when she, an empress in her prime, with Bathorian beauty charmed the men of dreams with sweetest songs and luring chimes. Dull bones were strewn throughout her emerald glen. Her palace gleams like sapphires in the sky, with phosphorescent fungi trailing high around the towers, and the wafting scents of belladonna and azalea sigh from poisoned petals, often to torment a phoenix caught inside her perfumed mist. She burst above the vapors and then kissed the silver sands with jets of sparks and ash. She soared above the fallen stars and missed a comet streaking by with fiery flash. The candy caps of rich and creamy red did line the path, emitting fumes that led me toward the palace where I neared my queen. My love, my goddess, was the queen of dread, and yet she was a gem of brightest sheen. The gnomes and redcaps snickered as they read my mind, and motioned me to quickly tread behind them as they led me to its gates. Bewitched by sorceries intoned in dread, the fairies wove a casting that predates the ancient empress and her captor's guard. The doors cracked open, and the fairies barred the way a moment ere they sought the night. At last I would approach her as a bard, and sing her lovely praises of her might. Incense diffused from golden censers hung above on beaded topaz gems and strung amidst the palace halls to drug my way. The path of smoke was absent on my tongue, for trailing mist a smaragdine display ensnared more senses than I dare to tell. The taste of wormwood wrought its truest spell. The howling stars protested my ascent toward the Empress and her sweetest hell. For me the stars of heaven still lament. A garden green as Eden slowed my way, and luscious splendors lured me nigh astray. The bleeding hearts wrap pillars round to lead my sight toward the richest fruits of day. Engorged with juices, red raspberries bleed, and trickle down the freshest spearmint leaves. A vine of berries black and luscious weaves around blueberry pots and pots of grapes. Apples of green and scarlet hang from eaves above the arches next to fruit that drapes the indoor growing trees of many kinds. The scent of limes and oranges came from rinds arranged around the metal candlesticks. Lemons and mangoes sat in baskets lined with sugar-coated pears and other picks. The honeyed peaches gleamed in pots that spilled with scrumptious plums so nicely plump and chilled. The sprawling garden tempted my wet lips, yet on I trudged through halls of crystal filled with opalescent floors that sported chips of sparkling nacre and of pale moonstone. I passed through rooms of diamond and fountains known as home to velvet-necked white swans and koi. The peacocks rare of iridescent tones, their dominance displayed with pomp and joy. A fluttering of black wings barely caught my eye, and yet the lurking creature shot through the air quicker than I looked at it. A chill encroached upon me. I was fraught abruptly with uneasy tremors fit for cowards, only I did not know why. An owl as white as snow sang forth a cry, and it reverberated through my bones. Its citron eyes were set on me to try and steal my soul with methods of its own. The luminous arcades began to dim, and as I entered the next room, the grim expressions of distracted hot centaurs upon me looked as lamias wet of limbs, and scaly skin gazed through their hair of tar. The sirens lurking in the serpent pools appeared to hint with their two jasper jewels of some excitement imminent, and held their centaur lovers back, for they'd be fools to spoil my hunt to find where my queen dwelled. Then beasts of nightmares prowled the next hallway, the manticores all snarled and looked to slay, and creatures of such terrible renown, like minotaurs and sphinxes that relay sly riddles for those wanting their prized crowns, awaited my arrival, yet none came to hinder me, though they were scarcely tame. They watched with interest keen and sensed my fear. I was compelled to go on toward my dame, for to my queen I knew I would be dear. A raven's call rang out through the malachite pillars, and black wings fluttered off in flight ahead as I instinctively just followed. The halls of crystal garnet turned, and night had seemed to seep into the room, for hollowed and milky white eyes glowed like rotten stars from pale and sunken faces marked with scars. In silks of sarcoline the pale vampires enticed upon mauve divans fit for czars. They offered wines of heliotrope from briars, and cherries chocolate dipped and poisoned laced. Their spell of love and venom was not placed so tightly around my heart, for their gemmed eyes, their soulless, deathly eyes, chilled and laid waste any sweet affection I came by. Their lust I left unsatisfied, their wine and food did not corrupt these lips of mine, and yet caresses clawed my back with nails, of fiends for succubi came near to dine. Their smoky orbs allured me, yet their trail of sulphurous effluvium repelled my nerves, yet my unearthly passion swelled at their seductive touch and languid breath. I journeyed onward, all my wants I quelled, for only my dark queen would be my death. Carnelian and opal floors led me toward a close of porcelain with seas of sculptured figures, frozen men and lads. Some look like porcelain, yet their debris of broken limbs show they were marble-clad. They were great warriors, or bards of song, or poets of the written word, or strong and steadfast lads who just desired a place in this dream world of myth and magic long, infamous for its wonders outside space. I knew then that they were not carved from rock. A sound so softly echoed, yet her walk I knew from bygone dream quests had of old. The Empress of the Crystal Moon oft stalks, her guest between her marble dreamers cold, and lifeless sculptures yet remains unseen. Her gown of amaranthian, jewels of green, and blackened fingertips trailed through her statues, yet still I could not even glimpse my queen. The scent of almonds, honey-sweetened cashews, ensnared my senses, and her lively form beckoned to me and made my blood run warm. My body ached with fathomless desire for her, my love, my empress, yet a storm erupted in me, drowning all my fire. A subtle hiss went sneaking through my head, like an evaporated flame once red, yet was it in my dreams, or was it real? My empress soon appeared with arms wide spread. Though cold her welcome, still I bent to kneel. Her face was drenched in crawling shadows, yet her body pulsed in fervor as I met her knee with my too long awaited kiss. Her silks revealed a form to make me sweat, and though her skin was marble carved with bliss, and now was hued like corpses in decay, a hiss resounded, and to my dismay, she had emerged from shadows, and her face was veiled in silk of amaranth and gray, her coiling tresses of a serpent race. Her cachinnations struck like poisoned spears, and with a blackened nail tip all my fears were lifted as she raised me by my chin. She held no pity or clear crystal tears. Entrapped I was her thrall, and fed her sin. The veil was cast aside and drifted down. Her breath was noxious, but I still would drown in honeyed fumes emitted from behind, albescent fangs and lips to match her gown. Her dark enchanted eyes of jet defined abysmal hells, for they were mine to bear. Awakened Gorgon, she was my nightmare. From yawning chasms rent through hidden dunes, I stood with marble dreamers in her lair, forevermore part of the crystal moon.